40 past. So yeah, man, let's see what's being said in the current world of football, people, where Arsenal's concerned. Big up to you lot. Keep your opinions flowing and things. I think after Milan's interest for Balogun, add money and trade Filial. He's such a huge talent, and it all depends. You know, Balogun in one scenario, he could say, you know what, I love Arsenal in that. Well, I don't want to be second fiddle. I want to go play. I want to leave. We'll never know. I'm sure Arsenal are in contact with his agents. We've got to be, because he's got the same agent as Reece Nelson, Jadon Sancho, Bukayo Saka, and a bunch of others. But we'll have to see, really. I don't think we should draw any conclusions. But yeah, again, first things first, Mohamed Elneny once again has signed a contract extension. Going over this again, Mohamed Elneny has extended his contract with the club. Mo 30, a hugely respected and experienced member of the squad, is currently our longest serving player, having joined us from Swiss side Basel back in January 2016. Our Egyptian international has made 155 appearances for us in all comps, scoring 6 goals and assisting 10 times during his 7 years with the club. The midfielder said, "I'm so happy. I love this club and our supporters so much. I'll give everything to help us to be the best we can be. Every day I'm here. On being our longest serving player, it makes me so proud to have represented this amazing club since 2016. The spirit and togetherness we have in our squad right now is so positive, and I'm so happy I've extended my contract." Mo's new contract extension, which is until June 2024. Arsenal very rarely actually specifically say when the contract ends. No, you know, so that, I think that's telling. Is subject to the completion of a regulatory process, people. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently, Lazio director Tar provides transfer update on Arsenal and Newcastle target Milinkovic-Savage. He insists Milinkovic-Savage has a strong bond with Lazio, but whatever happens will be the best choice for him and the club. Specifically, he said those who have played for Lazio have a strong bond with the club and the city. Some players have been here for a long time, and Milinkovic-Savage is among them. He has a strong bond with Lazio, and whatever happens will be the best choice for him and the club. His agent previously said in August that both Arsenal and Newcastle had tried to sign his client during the summer transfer window, but the approaches were rejected as the midfielder wants to play in the Champions League regularly. So we'll have to see how this develops. We're always linked with him. I'm a bit pessimistic with that, but we'll have to see. Allegedly, Arsenal ready in monstrous offer for 20-year-old club will not sell for less than 50 million euros. Over the course of the past few months, there have been a few reports in England about an alleged interest from Arsenal in Atalanta's Ramos Højlund. The forward has been in good form since his transfer to Italy, and his performances have caught the eye of many clubs, including the Gunners and Real Madrid. That's what La Repubblica are saying on Tuesday, claiming that the Liga side sent scouts to watch him against Lazio, while Arsenal are closely monitoring the player. Not only that, but the headline of the article states the two clubs are preparing a monstrous offer to try and get him, as seeing as he arrived in the summer for 17 million euros plus bonuses from Stuttgart, you would expect Atalanta to make a healthy profit on him. If you're going to buy anyone from Atalanta, can we buy that Scalvini centre-back? To give you an idea on how much Arsenal and Real Madrid would have to bid, this publication have also published an article involving the Atalanta player. They state the Serie A side will not many any discounts for anyone, and their player would not move in the summer for less than 50 million euros. Therefore, Arsenal and the La Liga side have been warned that the wallet will need to be open wide if they are to convince Atalanta to sell the 20-year-old, especially us, because they know Premier League clubs have bread, people. What's this? Arsenal star Gabriel Jesus sparks engagement rumors. His girlfriend shows huge ring after pair get back together. Fair enough. Fair enough, Jesus. Fair enough, my guy. Fair enough. Whatever, you know, not that I care about your personal life, bar that. Hope the little one's safe. Calm. We've seen this already with Milinkovic-Savage. What's this? Tierney considering Arsenal future and may quit after losing places. Premier League rivals plot 30 million transfer. But the same could happen to you at Newcastle. If Newcastle keep developing, they might sign a left back better than Tierney. But he's becoming increasingly frustrated by his lack of action at Arsenal and is considering his future naturally. Ambitious Newcastle are ready to throw the Scottish international fullback a 30 million lifeline. We signed him for 25 million. We need to be making more than that off him. And I don't want to do them any favors, Newcastle. They're going to be everybody's rivals soon. He has managed just 4 starts all season, people. He is cut in an extremely isolated figure. I very much doubt that. Them man, they're Scottish, come through Celtic's academy. He wasn't even really playing at Celtic at a point in his early career. Tierney is frustrated, but he's a professional. I don't think he's carrying on like that. Obviously, his lack of game time is something. We know Newcastle have an admiration for him, so I don't quite believe in any of this, people. Allegedly, people, you know, don't forget he did sign a new deal. I'm not too sure in 2001, but he did sign a new deal. And apparently he's on 100 bags a week, people, and that will limit the number of buys. 100 bags a week, fairly injury prone. Who knows? Newcastle have the bread though. I'm not too sure Nuno Tavares is the answer. Put that in the shop window. We've just seen this with Real Madrid and Arsenal. West Ham hero fears 100 million Declan Rice will join Arsenal this summer, says David James. Right, what have you said? Declan is hot property. He will be wanted by any English side who qualify for Europe this season because he's a top draw player. Speaking from my own experiences before I joined Liverpool, when I couldn't consider leaving the London area. When you're born and grow up in an area, sometimes you feel that's the only place you need to be. I'd love him to stay at West Ham ultimately, and I hope they can get out the relegation battle they're in at the moment. Some people just like staying in their area, and therefore, why not Arsenal? Under Mikel Arteta, they've gotten themselves in a position where they could end up being Premier League champions. I don't check the league table. And if you're going to join the best team in the country at the time, that also makes sense for Declan. My hunch is that Rice will join Arsenal, says Danny Murphy. When you're young and from a certain area, you want to stay around your family. Maybe that Arsenal thing has become more attractive. And you look at even Calvin Phillips, who's not young, Leeds isn't that far from Manny. Maybe that's why he went to City beyond working with Pep Guardiola and joining the Bullies. Arsenal star has already endorsed Victor Osimhen Napoli move. Let's see what's going on. Jorginho's been talking. He said he's a huge fan of Osimhen. Fair enough. And we know when he was 17, we know that Osimhen spoke to Arsene Wenger. That's nothing new there. I'm not going to waste time. Allegedly, Chiesa is unhappy at Juventus. Yeah, right. Even if he is, and he's just coming back from injury, we're not getting him, people. But for what it's worth, we've been linked with him once again. We've seen that again. Apparently, QPR losing their manager has seen Matt Smith not being able to get a move to QPR. The window's shut. Isn't Matt Smith's contract running out? So we're going to have to decide what's going on there. Rafinha reveals Arsenal admiration after 89 million transfer swoop collapsed. He has name-checked Arsenal as one of the clubs he admires. He said, I love Arsenal. That's great. But that's got nothing to do with us. Arsenal in pole position to sign Declan Rice on 200 grand a week deal after new talks. Arsenal lead Premier League rivals in the race to sign West Ham captain Declan Rice after further encouragement behind the scenes, sources have told Football Insider. Sources with an understanding of the 24-year-old situation have revealed the Gunners are in sustained contact with Rice's reps ahead of a summer deal. Arsenal are trying to steal a march on their rivals by negotiating an agreement with Rice before the end of the season. The England international midfielder is widely expected to leave West Ham in the off-season when he'll have just 12 months left to run on his contract at the London Stadium. His precarious contract situation means West Ham are only likely to be able to command a fee of between 70 to 80 for their most sellable asset. It's also believed that the Premier League leaders are willing to hand Rice a long-term contract worth in excess of 200 grand a week, a step up from his reported current wage of 60 grand a week. According to F Brief, the current top earners at the Emirates Stadium after Gabriel Jesus, who's on 265k, and Thomas Partey is on 200k, meaning a deal for Rice would not break the wage structure. Obviously, you've got Martinelli new deal, Saka and Saliba contracts as well. So we'll have to see exactly what that means. Man City revived Declan Rice pursuit. And everyone's going to be interested. But allegedly, they've revived their pursuit of him. Apparently he wants to stay in the London area, but the chance to work with Pep Guardiola and join a lot of your England international colleagues and the bullies in this league would be one too hard to turn down. Everyone's going to be interested. So by all means, go after him as much as you want. The team I would never play in my life, Real Madrid. Other Spanish clubs I like only Barca, says Rafinha. Arsenal and PSG are two teams I like outside Spain. I'd like Messi to return to Barca, of course. Man, I don't care about that. Apparently, Fabrizio Romano has said Tierney will decide his future at the end of the season. Also, Tavares on loan is another factor to consider. Arsenal want him to be 100% focused on the second part of the season. They're not in talks with any club right now, allegedly. Big up Elneny on that new deal. Is there anything else? Not in that regards, people. Arsenal were interested in Pedro Neto last summer, but not Chelsea. At the moment, the player situation is completely quiet. Also, in January, nothing was serious or concrete for Pedro. So it don't seem like there's anything new there. Fox is in 3-horse race with Napoli and Milan for free Telemans replacement. That's in relation to the Hoot, who's leaving for free. Apparently, Juventus and Arsenal, as well as Man United, are fighting for Telemans as well, people. Arsenal face competition for midfield star as Prem rivals could force big Mikel Arteta decision. Dortmund have reportedly registered an interest in Yuri Telemans. So, yeah, we'll have to see exactly how that pans out, and you can imagine he'll have a whole host of talent of teams looking at him. Arsenal are set for a a huge few weeks in their pursuit of the Premier League title. What does this mean? What does this mean? This isn't actually shedding any light on our players injured. Partey injury update. Arsenal layout return timeline for title running. Let's see exactly what's happening here. Thomas Partey is hoping to hand Arsenal a huge fitness boost by being available for Saturday's trip to Leicester. He's missed our last 2 games due to a thigh problem and allegedly was absent from training on Monday. Arsenal will assess Partey this week and continue to be cautious over his involvement, with the timescale tight on whether he can be in the squad this weekend. Arsenal will not rush the 29-year-old back with Jorginho's January arrival and an impressive start since easing the pressure to do so. As you know, Jorginho started our last 2 games and done quite well, people. Allegedly, Saka and Eddie were also missing training on Monday, but it's understood the session was a recovery run, with some players instead working outdoors. Okay, so what about Jesus and that? Well, we've got it here. Allegedly, Jesus could return in early March, people. So hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. But when he's prepared, didn't it? Let's see what Goal.com has said in relation to any links we've got. Tierney to decide his future. We've seen Declan Rice. City are in for Declan Rice. We've been linked with Montpellier striker Wahi. We saw that yesterday. Several Premier League teams to go after Balogun. We've pulled ahead in the race for Denzel Dumfries. If you believe that, we're keen to still sign Jesper Limstrong from Frankfurt. We've sent scouts to watch Brazilian wonder kid Victor Rogue. With Asensio's contract